So let's begin with the fact that you were in a corporate job for how long?
18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So, first off, can you say what company, or would you rather not?
Well, it was multiple companies, but I was in the finance field. And so multiple companies, I was with, big IT company I was with for 13 years.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, and that was my career, MBA, bachelor's degree, very normal, very vanilla, very golf club, country club type life. I got really sick of being in the lifestyle. I kind of saw both sides. So I was working in, as an executive, vice president, but also being in the lifestyle with people that were very open-minded and non-judgmental, which was kind of what drew me to it.
Mm-hmm.
So they were all doing, the OnlyFans craze took off, and I wasn't really able to do that because of my job.
Yeah.
So, everybody would be like, oh, let's film content. And I couldn't do it because I couldn't be out there. Kind of, everything was very Instagram friendly, pushed the boundaries a little bit, but I kept that very private, very private. I showed my face and stuff. So I was open about the lifestyle, but I couldn't do anything further. I couldn't really do content creation or anything like that. So anytime there would be experiences, I would maybe film them, but it was mostly from my personal stuff, not to put out there. And so finally I just got sick of it. I had stuff happen at my career that I didn't like, stuff with deals and things like that I kind of just didn't like the way things are going, judgment. And I finally just said at the beginning of this year, I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm done with this. And I was going to just go like the OnlyFans content creation route. But then I decided, someone asked me, they're like, are you going to do mainstream? And I was like, what's that? I had no idea. And so I just kind of dove in head first, and here I am.
Okay.
So
when you were in college, like, did you know that was the route you were going to go for finance and stuff like that? Like, that's what you were planning on because was it because you had an interest, or was it more like it was good money, or what was it that drew you to it initially?
It was just kind of what I always planned on doing. And I started off doing accounting, and I was doing like auditing, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I was in podunk towns with, awful, like little small town America, like valuing a pile of concrete. And it was just like, this is not for me. So I decided then that was not for me. So then I did real estate for a while. So then I went the finance route. And so I liked that and kind of stuck with that for as long as I was in that. So
how high did you end up getting by the end? You were vice president?
Yeah, vice president.
Okay. How long, and what was that like to go that, because I don't know if the corporate landscape has changed in the last few decades, or if it's different in terms of like, was that something that you aspired to? Was it just like you were so good at your job that you just kept getting elevated?
Yeah. I mean, I did well. I liked it. It was something that was comfortable to me. So it was more, when you're familiar with something, it's, you can be really confident speaking about it and selling and that kind of thing. I will say that the interest rate, hike of recent, the last 4 or 5 years, 4 years has been really challenging. It was really challenging. It put definite strain on, when you're doing financing and things like that. So, so that was probably added to the well,
and the fact that like property values stayed high too. They didn't go down as a result. So it's like when interest rates are high and the property, I don't know if, because you were in real estate, that it seems that.
Well, I was in real estate. I didn't do real estate. I didn't really do real estate towards the end of my career, but I did real estate like before I got into finance. So.
Okay. And so was what was it about finance that you liked? Was it just that was it just something that you've always been into in terms of?
I think it was just something that I surprisingly was good at. And it came naturally to me, being in front of people, selling to people face to face, that kind of thing. As far as interest in financing and stuff like that, it was something that was just very easy for me, I guess you could say. So I was successful at it and I enjoyed it. So when you're, both successful in something you enjoy, it just kind of snowballed from there.
Well, that's cool. And I mean, and you liked it for a while until towards the end where you stopped liking it.
Right.
And that was that, and again, that was because since you're in the lifestyle that you didn't feel like you could express yourself in certain ways or do things that you wanted to do, or was that the frustrations you were having in your corporate job were just separate already?
Those were separate already as
Okay.
far as just some things that were happening at the job. Not things happened and they didn't go the way that you wanted them to. So it happened a couple times and I said, okay, enough of this. So that combined with not being able to, the very, I would say double standard, you know, you've got guys, probably half the guys at the company are on porn, but if I do it or if I even have an OnlyFans, then that's just very taboo. And so I kind of just got sick of that. I felt it wasn't fair. And that's pretty much the way society is as a whole. I wouldn't say it was anything that was particular to where I worked. I pretty much think every company's got things like ethics clauses and things like that in employment agreements and things like that. So,
well, I was going to say, if male executives did only, do you think they would not get fired? Like if they had their own?
No, I'm sure they would, but I mean, again, it's a double standard.
Yeah.
Like you can be on it, you can be a user,
Okay.
and not probably have any issues. Not that you're blasting that around. I'm sure they just have to assume that you are. Some guys probably aren't, but I think more guys than not are probably on some sort of sites.
Sure. Yeah.
As a general, you know, consensus.
So yeah. Well, okay. So now, would you say like that there were skills though, and certain ways of being in that world that translated to when you started doing adult work that were really helpful?
You know, I thought that, but it's kind of being the salesman I am in the corporate world. I'm a little different than that when it's me, when I'm selling me. And it's funny because I really thought I would be better at it, but that's not really who I am. I think I'm more humble and I'm more reserved, and I don't I love doing, like, for example, like I love doing like a one-on-one Skype session with somebody versus being on a live and like being out there and saying, hey guys, give me tips. But I would do Instagram Live all the time, even before my career. And I love that because it's just me being out there. I'm not trying to get stuff from people. That's just me. That's who I am. I like to have fun. I like the one-on-one Skype sessions a lot better because it's just me one-on-one with somebody. So I enjoy that. I still love doing the lives, but I don't like to do it where I'm trying to get people to give me tips. I like to do it because it's just fun.
Yeah. So. Did you have like stress at the corporate job after a while, or were you always kind of able to let that? Because I know finance can be a very stressful field.
Yeah, I mean it's always stressful. I mean when you're trying to pay the bills, anything you do is going to be stressful. So when things are going great, it's great, and when things are not going great, it's stressful.
Okay, I guess adult work can be similar to that too.
You put a lot into something. Let's say it's a deal or whatever in the finance side. You put a lot and you work hard and then it doesn't come to fruition for whatever reason. Usually through no fault of your own. It's just whatever. It sucks because you kind of put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak, thinking that something's going to happen. And so, you kind of, I guess that in your life, in my life, I've kind of done the same thing. It's like you kind of try to not count your chickens before they hatch, if you will.
Okay.
So try not to get disappointed when things don't go your way if you're not expecting them to.
Okay. Yeah, true.